You know, I thought this movie was just alright. So, I guess you can say in this case that I really didn't love Lucy. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about a release I'm a little late on, being the Ricardos. Before I begin, let me know in the comments what your thoughts on this movie were, if you already saw it, or if you were planning on seeing it, and make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you like these reviews, as it helps me out immensely by getting my content out there. And if you're new here, I hope you consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with reviews of new releases, older films, hidden gems, and so much more on a near daily basis. But let's jump right into it, and let's talk about being the Ricardos. This follows Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, played by Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem, as they face a crisis that could end their careers and another that could end their marriage. This is written and directed by Sorkin, with this being his third film in the director's chair, and while this is a biographical drama, something which I'm not typically the biggest fan of, this does find itself to be a refreshing change of pace, as it doesn't try cramming in Lucy and Desi's entire lives into a 2-hour movie. While there are flashbacks that we frequently cut back to, mainly centered on the beginning of their romance, most of the film takes place in this confined period of time, which is the much better route I think to go in with biopics, as typically they try covering too much ground and often feel like nothing more than a greatest hits of the subject's life. Now, I know there was some skepticism by some about the casting of Kidman as Ball going into this, which even caused Ball's daughter coming to her defense, but honestly, Kidman knocked it out of the park here. With Sorkin known for very snappy, grandiose dialogue, Kidman takes it and goes with it in the best way she can, giving a commanding performance that feels as larger than life as she can be. We see Lucy trying to have some sort of creative control while on the set of I Love Lucy, butting heads with producers and writers, including two of which played by Tony Hale and Alia Shawkat. Plus, she's also dealing with a story in the news that was just out about her, while also suspecting Desi may be cheating on her, and it creates a lot of emotional turmoil for her, and Kidman brings all that out so wonderfully here. In fact, all the performances are rock solid. Javier Bardem is as charismatic as ever as Desi, with a lot of natural chemistry with Kidman, and while all the supporting cast was great, J.K. Simmons was easily the biggest standout. He plays William Frawley in a style that's very reminiscent of the blustering, foul-mouthed roles he's best known to play, but it amazes me how he can find different variations of said style, and it never feels like it gets old. Also, as someone who was a fan of I Love Lucy growing up and did read up on some of the behind-the-scenes drama, I did like some of the attention to detail to some of the ways these characters interacted. In particular, there was the tension that stemmed between Frawley and co-star Vivian Vance, here played by Nina Arianda, who was also great here, because while they played a married couple on the show, they almost never got along, and I liked how that tension was played up nicely all throughout the movie. Unfortunately, while I liked all the performances, I do wish the writing and the direction were able to match them. While Sorkin's well known for his dialogue, here he opts to go for his grandiose style that he's known for, at the expense of not thinking through how people actually spoke at the time, with a number of clear instances of modern phrasing being injected here, which routinely take me out of the moment. And while I understand this mostly focused on one period of time and thus is meant to only go through a small number of topics in the couple's lives, Sorkin's prioritization of different storylines felt like a bad choice to me. He's often fixated on this one news story about Ball and her testimony to HUAC, which was a big deal at the time, as well as Ball's obsession with changing minor details in one scene of an upcoming episode of I Love Lucy. And the way in which he tries playing these situations up as these weighty moments came off as a bit corny to me, especially when it came to her attempting to stage the I Love Lucy scene as this huge pivotal moment, which is a shame considering he had this really solid, emotionally charged story about the potential downfall of Lucy and Desi's marriage, which eventually did happen after the events of this movie, and it felt so small in scale and inconsequential in comparison in the way it's so infrequently brought up. This was by far the more intriguing of the storylines, yet it never felt quite as emotionally resonant as it should have. Plus, Sorkin as a director is still something I haven't been the biggest fan of. With the exception of his debut, Molly's Game, his style has mostly come across as flat and pretty generic, with most scenes being made up of very simple and standard shot/reverse shot back and forth exchanges. He's never quite able to make the scene look as quite unique as his dialogue is meant to sound, which again, even here isn't up to his usual standards. And here, with this taking place mostly in a television studio, it gave this the look of a typical made-for-TV movie you'd see on basic cable, and I feel, given how iconic Ball and Arnaz were, they deserve something at least a little better than that. Being the Ricardos is just an okay time. This is easily far from one of Sorkin's strongest scripts, which is made slightly more exhausting by his somewhat bland direction, causing the film to feel not quite as emotionally packed as it could have been. Thankfully, the film's boosted by the works of the entire cast, who do such a phenomenal job that they carry the entire film on their shoulders. While I don't consider this film a must-watch, I'd say if you're going to check it out, at least watch it for them. Being the Ricardos gets a 6.5 out of 10. So let me know, did you see Being the Ricardos, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Was this one of your favorite Aaron Sorkin movies? Was it one of your favorite Nicole Kidman movies? Let me know in the comments below so we can discuss. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching everyone, and keep having fun with film.